Good Yontif, everyone. Gemara Chatima Tova. This night, this elevated night, in our tradition where Jewish people are gathering right here in this building in multiple spaces, all over our city, and small minions and large congregations, and then all over the world, in basements and in large spaces and small places, handful of people, or the stunning many people here in this room and in the sanctuary. This night that draws us in, this sacred night, our rabbis imagined that this same night was an epic night in the narrative of our people, in the narrative of Torah. We made this break for freedom, and we were in the wilderness, headed to the promised land. This night, this same night, many moons ago, we're in the wilderness, we're at the foot of the mountain of Mount Sinai, and we are not sure what is ahead. We are unsure and we are scared. Maybe we should go back. Maybe we should go back. Maybe the slavery, as awful it was as it was, might not be so bad as this unknown. The unknown is so scary. So yes, it's a dangerous idea to go back, but maybe in some twisted way safer, because we know what that's like, and the unknown ahead is so scary. We need something that will help us. What can help us out here? We are so afraid. Hey, why don't we give our jewelry? Let's melt it down. Let's make a calf. Let's make something concrete, instead of whatever was announced to us, some everything, nothing, big breath, big source. What? Like, give us something. And someone, where is Moses? He has led us out here, and where is he now? We've been waiting for so many days, and he's gone up to that mountain, and we don't know if he's coming. Where are we? What is happening? It is so scary in the unknown. Moses, he was up on that mountain, and he was also completely terrified. I don't know what I'm doing. It's clear to me that the people are already still so afraid. I mean, we had mountains. We had water that split, great walls of water. We walked through and we came to this mountain that shook and was on fire. And still, they are so scared. I don't blame them. I'm terrified. Do you remember that I didn't want to do this? Do you remember that I said this wasn't my role? I have a speech impediment. It's not me. This is not me. I'm not supposed to be here. This is not right. But here I am, I'm listening, I'm getting instructions, I'm doing what I was asked to do, and I am scared, and I'm scared of how scared they are, and then all of a sudden God comes raging to me, telling me, look at them, look at what the people are doing now. You better go back down there and take a look. And Moses does, and there's this dancing around this calf. Oh. I thought it couldn't get worse, but look at this, it got worse. Too is full of rage. He's felt the rage of the divine, and he takes these tablets that are in his hand, and he smashes them. He smashes the tablets in his anger, in his despair. He smashes the tablets, and oh no. Now it's worse again. You didn't even think it could get possibly worse, and now it's worse again. What's going to happen now? What will happen now? This night, smashing of the tablets, the fear, the wilderness, and the unknown. We are also afraid, like our ancestors gathered around that mountain. We are afraid. Often it's at night when the fear comes to find us and the worry. When we put down the devices, or Netflix, or devices and Netflix, and a drink, or whatever it is that we have done to keep moving, to keep distracted, and then there we are in the night, and all of the thoughts and the worries come to find us. Our fears for our kids, for our country, for our marriages, for our loved ones, for our health, for humanity, for the fires and these storms that keep coming, and the climate that keeps rising in temperature, and the mortgages, and the changes ahead, and the not enough changes ahead. I know for me, the night was when the fear came the strongest. Sometimes I would be asleep and then awaken in the night, and I think to myself, oh, what's been happening? It's all a dream, a crazy nightmare. But then I'd feel up on my head, and my hair was gone. And I felt the stubble, and I realized this is not a nightmare, this is happening. But smashing the tablets is not the only option. Moses takes a breath. He realizes that the people are afraid and they are trying. And he realizes that he's afraid, but he is trying. Scared people do scary things. Moses goes back to God and he pleads on behalf of the people and pleads for forgiveness and pleads for help for himself to continue on in this journey. In fact, he puts it very clearly to God. I know that we've all messed up, but if we're going forward together, then we need to feel you. You have to be with us, or we cannot go forward. I have to know you more, I have to feel you more, or I cannot go forward in this journey. So God tells Moses, bring a new set of tablets and come back up the mountain. When Moses comes back up the mountain, the rabbis tell us that God wraps a talit, and teaches Moses this prayer. It's an offering to Moses, this prayer in that moment to forgive the people, and a prayer that we can use in this moment. In generations to come, we are offered a prayer because they knew that they weren't the only generation that was going to make mistakes. Already then it was acknowledged that this is part of being human. We had made mistakes, then we will do it again. So here is this prayer. And a way that you can be known by me, God says to Moses, Adonai, Adonai, El Rachum v'chanu, Erech Alpayim v'rav chesed v'emet, compassionate and full of grace, slow to anger and abounding in kindness and faithfulness. Truth. When Moses is wrapped in a talit and learns this prayer for the first time, this, the rabbis tell us, is this night. It's Kol Nidre night. The people are forgiven and Moses is wrapped in care. All year long we wear a talit only during the daytimes. But on this night, on Kol Nidre night, we are wrapped in this cloth. And whether you are wearing one, actually tonight, you are wrapped in this fabric. This fabric of care and kindness. This fabric that reminds us we are not alone. We are held in love and compassion all the time. you're not alone. Laying in the night, put out the fire in your head. And this rage. I am not going to start smashing tablets or get immobilized by fear and do nothing. That's where our fear goes, either inside where it hurts us or outside where it hurts others. Scared people do scary things. I'm going to be wrapped in this compassion and care and feel how it changes how I move in the world, how I care for others, how I care for myself, how my body, how our bodies can heal, how we can move through such scary times in our nation and in our world. Some people call this God. Some people call it love, or loving kindness, or being, or energy, or makom, or shalom. We have 72 words or more for God in our tradition. So many words, so many ways in, so many experiences, ways in, multiple theologies in Judaism, not just one. So many ways in so that we don't pin it down, so that there's so many ways to experience it. But you don't have to call it anything. You don't have to call it anything to feel it. To feel that you are not alone, that you are always held. Feeling this cloth of compassion and kindness wrapping around your body when you are filled with fear and worry and pain. Now, this is an actual idea, not just an esoteric thought. This is an actual practical experience that you can cultivate. You can take a moment with eyes closed to feel the love and compassion surrounding you, wrapping around you. First, it may be easiest to do this in a quiet space, thinking of somebody you love or who loves you. And let that feeling of love fill you. Or think of being in a place you so enjoy being, and let that fill you. A little bit, maybe each day. I cannot do that each day. Okay, maybe a little bit once a week. Okay, maybe a little bit once a month, or maybe a little bit when you're like, I have nothing else to try. I'm going to try that crazy thing that Rabbi Susan suggested. Maybe then, sitting quiet, laying quiet in bed if you cannot sleep. Or in the day if you're racked with fear. Anytime, can I just wait a minute to feel wrapped in compassion and care? At the foot of the mountain, the people acted so poorly. Oh, they screwed up big time. And here was this prayer given to them, and not just for them. The rabbi said it was given for us, knowing that we too, from fear and insecurity, will use sad strategies, painful strategies, and we will mess up and mess up again. We still have the work to do to mend and repair our damage. Don't think I'm saying you're wrapped in love and now you're all good. No, we have pain that we have caused. We have lied, we have cheated. We have said things out loud that we should never have said out loud. We have been self-destructive and destructive of our businesses, of our families, of our communities. This is not just missing the mark. We have done things that we should not have done, used our powers in ways that were simply wrong. And we know all that we've done or said or failed to do and say. But the tradition says to us that we begin here tonight. We begin with this fabric wrapped around us. We begin with being given these new tablets. We start with compassion and kindness. This is where we start. It's not an extra little frilly something to add in. It is from the beginning. It is from the most basic place of trying to be good humans in the world. We are wrapped in this compassion and kindness. It gives us a compass in the wilderness, a direction for how to move forward to repair the damage. The inside of our journey matters. Filled with compassion and grace, we then move towards others with compassion and grace and kindness. In feeling held, we can hold. In feeling held, we can hold, honestly and without denial. We can acknowledge what we've done and how to make it better. We come to do the mending of our broken places from here. It will direct how and where we do it. And it will also determine whether it feels received by us and others, whether it makes a difference. Oh, Rabbi, God's love, really? I decided at 15 that was not for me. I don't believe in God. As I said, you do not have to call it that. What about this? What about the fact that our ancestors were all there imagining that we would all be here now? What if when Moses argues in the name of the ancestors going back, we also know that they knew that we were coming here in the future? We can think about our ancestors around that mountain, our ancestors of every generation and in every place. Think about a grandparent, a great-grandparent, a great-aunt, a great-uncle, maybe somebody you weren't related to by blood, a mentor, a spirit ancestor who imagined you and loved you already before you were born. Who delights in you now, who delights in how different you are than them, and who delights in how the same you are than them. This research now, this exploding research in epigenetics, the way that we can pass on a physiological level experiences that weren't yet in our genes, which now become part of our bodies. Our experiences affect our cells, our families, our lives. And for example, research is showing that trauma in our cells can carry from one generation to the next. But tonight, what about this idea I want to add into this conversation of epigenetics, that the hope and the love and the aspiration also can get into our bodies. Their healing, their mending also comes into us now. And our healing and our mending is for the generations to come. This work that we're asked to do tonight on Yom Kippur, it's not just for us. It is for us and for our families and for our nation. And it is also an offering to the generations that are coming after you. The healing that you are doing in your bodies, in your spirits, in your hearts. This is an offering to the generations to come. Our ancestors gathered at that mountain with Moses, and they send their love to us now. They send their trying to be better to us now. We are our grandmother's prayers. We are our grandfather's dreamings. We are the breath of the ancestors. We are the Spirit of God. The words of Isai Maria Barnwell. We are our grandmother's prayers. We are our grandfather's dreamings. We are the breath of our ancestors. We are the Spirit of God. El Rachum, the compassionate one, is holding us. Chanun, full of grace, we are held. Of chesed and emet, full of kindness and truth, our ancestors are holding us, and now we are holding the ones to come. we move forward through this wilderness, doing the work that this day requires of us to mend the broken places inside of our hearts with those we love in the world, and as an offering for those that come after us. May you feel compassion and kindness holding you, surrounding you. And may you do the deep work that this day was created for. Shana Tova.